What's up YouTube? Jeff back again from dopetechdaily.com. Today I'm bringing you guys my 48-hour impressions on the Moto G5 Plus. Now I did an unboxing of this phone a couple days ago. If you haven't seen the unboxing yet, I'll go ahead and drop the link below so that you can check it out. Now this is the upper tier model of the Moto G5 Plus. This is the model that costs $299 unlocked. I bought this at Best Buy. They're already selling the phone in store, so if you want to go try to find one in your local Best Buy, it doesn't officially release until this coming Friday, which is March 31st. There is a lower spec version of the phone for $229, which has 2 gigabytes of RAM and also has 32 gigs of storage. This one's got 4 gigs and 64 gigs of storage. Otherwise, same camera, same other features, Snapdragon 625. Now, I just want to talk about a few of the things that have impressed me and a few things that have concerned me over the first couple days of use here. The first thing is the build quality. I said the unboxing, I didn't really like the build quality. This is, of course, a personal opinion. I'm still not a very big fan of it. You've got a metal back here, but the sides are plastic. I don't know, it's easy to see, but the buttons are kind of flimsy as well. You can definitely feel these are plastic. It sort of gives a pseudo appeal of being premium, but once you actually feel this in the hand, you're going to tell a huge difference between something like this and the LG G6 or even the Galaxy S7, the S7 Edge, etc. Obviously, those are much more expensive phones, but I felt like, again, Motorola strayed from their traditional heritage of having an ergonomic design and something that really stands out. Now, some people may like this, but it also has a very big camera hump. It's just not really my style in terms of the build. So I think the shell itself could have used a little work. But aside from that, the features in the phone overall have impressed me for the most part. The first thing is the display on this. You got a 1080p display on the Moto G5 Plus. It looks very good. For a $300 phone, you got really good viewing angles. Overall, you got very good color on this particular phone. The brightness is okay. It's not the best for an LCD display. The LG G6 gets quite a bit brighter outside, but I can still see things in most lighting conditions unless it's just super, super bright. The performance overall is where the Moto G5 Plus really shines. This thing opens up apps super quickly. You're not going to have any lag on this phone. So far, the Motorola Skin, as you can see, is basically running a very close to stock version of Android. The settings look pretty much untouched. As I showed in the original unboxing video, it is running Android 7.0. You've got the January security patch. Motorola should hopefully update this phone relatively regularly. They've had a sketchy past with its updates lately, but they are updating some of their most recent phones. The Moto Z line on Verizon, for instance, getting a lot of updates. Having the Pixel launcher on here is definitely a favorite of mine after using the Pixel XL for so long. And I really have nothing bad to say about the performance. I haven't done any serious benchmarks for gaming or anything. I have played some Super Mario Run, some One More Jump. It seems to perform fine overall. The Snapdragon 625 is a very capable processor. The fingerprint scanner on the front here is a huge improvement from last year. The Moto G4 Plus has sort of a dimple fingerprint scanner. This one is more flush with the body, as you can see. It's also a little wider. A couple things to note is you can use the fingerprint scanner to turn off the phone, as you guys can see right there, which is one nice gesture. Another thing which you can do, which I've enabled, and I'm testing this out for the final review of the Moto G5 Plus, is the one-touch nav. So if you look at the very top here in the Moto app, you've got this one-button nav option. Basically, this allows you to swipe left on the home button, as I just did, or swipe right on the home button to get your recent apps. That means you're not using the on-screen buttons and you're also not using capacitive buttons. You're just using your home button to actually do all of the navigation with the phone. Now, in testing the one-button nav so far, I can tell you it's been pretty awkward for me. I don't know that I'm going to get used to it. I won't say it's the worst thing in the world. I'll just say if you've used an Android phone for a long time, you might find it unnatural. Otherwise, you've got all the other great customizations. I keep going into the Photos app because it looks similar to the Moto app. You've got all the other great customizations you've come to love on Moto phones. You've got the chop twice for the flashlight, twist capture for the camera, swipe to shrink screen, pick up to stop ringing the phone, and then you can flip it over for the do not disturb mode. So all those things are still there. Very, very nice overall. Those added little touches that Motorola adds are nice customization on top of a close to stock build of Android. So far, the battery life has been very good for me. This is the second cycle. I haven't had a lot of screen on time today because, again, I'm back this week at the university teaching again, so I'm not using the screen as much. About an hour and a half screen on time, and you can see I'm at 62% battery life. I've had it on idle for a long time on this charge cycle. My first charge cycle, I got about 5 hours and 15 minutes screen on time, so I'd say the battery life is pretty good so far. And in all of my testing with the Snapdragon 625, I've been pretty darn impressed with the battery life that it puts out for this mid-range processor. Some of the other things to note, the camera quality, I mentioned this in the unboxing. The camera quality is very impressive to me so far. I mean, we know it's not going to perform like the Galaxy S7 Edge. It's not going to perform like the LG G6 because it doesn't have some of the key features that you would expect to get, like stabilization features inside the camera. But the sensor, the f1.7 sensor that you have in there is very, very impressive. And as you guys can see right here, this photo I took, very nice depth of field on my Tag Heuer. This is inside with relatively low light. I posted this over on Twitter. I'll post a couple other pictures I've taken, but I've been super impressed with the camera so far in macro shots, and it's very, very good in low light, much better than the Moto G4 Plus. It's not going to stand up to flagship cameras, but what I really expected was to see a best-in-class camera, which by that I mean, of course, $300 and under. And so far, I haven't seen anything that makes me doubt that. I'll do a follow-up, of course, in the full review and talk more about it. Couple other things to consider about this phone. It is missing NFC, which is pretty darn annoying actually too. Not a huge fan of not having NFC. You can't use Android Pay. Maybe some people don't care. Another thing that I mentioned in the unboxing that I don't like, it does have micro USB-C, no USB Type-C. That might just be annoying for me because all of my devices are USB-C. You might not care about that, but something to keep in mind. It does have quick charging, Motorola's turbocharger, so that's really no big deal if you just want the quick charge. It doesn't have any waterproofing, which was a huge feature of the 3rd generation Moto G, so that feature is not coming back on this one. The speaker isn't really that great. I've listened to some media, just got the speaker up here at the top. It's really not that loud, and the clarity is not that great either. It's nothing really to write home about. It's definitely not a signature feature of this device. So overall, those are my first impressions of the Moto G5 Plus. I'm very impressed with the performance for the price. There's a couple of key features that are missing, but I think it makes up for that in terms of its performance, camera, stock software, and the good battery life I've seen so far. All right, guys, so let me know what you think of the Moto G5 Plus, also what you want to see in the full review, any other comparisons you want me to do with this phone to any other phones in its budget category. I got a ton of coverage coming up right now, so if you're waiting on a video about a particular device, just remind me on Twitter, but just know that I'm getting to it. There's a ton of devices coming out right now, and I'm trying my best. I'm just one person covering all of these phones instead of an entire website of people or a team of people. Anyway, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. You can find me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. You can also find the wallpaper I'm rocking in the description as well. I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.